What's going on, everybody? Raven Hollywood here again with another little video, part 2. I guess this is when everything really started. It was the end of March, literally like the final day of March, getting ready to roll over into April. She was out bowling that night, and we've talked a few times on the phone. And she told me that she was going to come and stay the night at my place. I said, okay. Are your parents okay with this? What did you tell your parents? Stuff like that. She said, oh, I'm telling them that I'm gonna go to a girlfriend's place after I get done bowling, and I'll be on my way over. I said, okay, if that's what you want to do. So sure enough, about 10, 11 o'clock, she rolls up. Comes on into my place. My mom offers her a bowl of food like she does everybody else, all my other friends. My mom didn't treat her any differently at this specific point in time. And we head upstairs to eat and chit chat, because yes, that's literally pretty much all we did all night. Was we sat on my mattress that was on the floor, because at this point in time I was in high school and I was living with my mom. So of course my mattress on the floor. Well, we sat there, we talked. We talked about what we wanted our future, what our futures look like to us. And I think we shared our first kiss that night. Following morning was April Fool's Day. I got a hold of my brother at the time. I said, dude, you won't believe what happened last night. He goes, what? And I said, well, she ended up staying the night. He goes, oh, really? I was like, yeah. She, sex wasn't completely off the table. We talked about it, but we both decided that neither one of us was ready at that specific time. So we literally just played video games until we both just kind of zonked out. And the following morning, April Fool's Day, she got up, she left. I was half expecting her to call me that day and say, April Fools, I'm not dating you. You're a loser. All that stuff. But I called her. I told her, I said, I had a very good night with you. And I would like to pursue this. And she said, me too. So I said, are you serious? She goes, yes. I was like, oh, thank God. She's like, what? And I was like, because I was half expecting you to say, April Fools, we're not dating. She laughed. And she came over later that day. Not to stay the night. It was literally just to lay around and cuddle and watch TV. Now I do want to say before I continue with this story, I'm not looking to gather a pity party for me and to have keyboard warriors track her info and find her and harass her. How I personally feel about her is my personal feelings. But she is still the mother of my child. So she at least deserves that respect. We'll fast forward a few months, nothing big. My mom's made little sly comments, saying like, I can tell that you're happy. I was like, oh really? How can you tell? She goes, you're whistling. You're singing. She goes, you only do that when you're happy. And I think the first time I had that kind of conversation with my mom was a eye awakening kind of moment. I was thinking maybe I did finally meet the one that I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. And anytime she called, I ran to my phone like a high school girl running to a new car. I was giddy. I was laughing like a little schoolgirl. That's not to mention how I felt whenever she said she was coming over. Because we, at this point, besides having a couple of makeout sessions, I've never really done anything physical at this point. We both said that we wanted to wait and see how the relationship progressed. Now another big moment for us was a few months later. July of 2016. My mom, her then boyfriend, were going out of town, about like a 2 hour drive, I think, out of town to go watch fireworks. And they invited her and I to come along. And she just instinctively said yes. And she said that she talked to her mom about it, and her mom said, okay. So she came over to my place. We left in 2 cars, my mom, her boyfriend, and then her and I in a different car. We stopped and got gas, stopped and got food, and made it to the fireworks location. We get back to our hometown, and I receive a text from her about an hour or 2 afterwards, after she drops me off, saying, I can't see you again, I'm sorry, it's not against you, I'm grounded. Now this irritated the dog shit out of me. And I knew that she had an interview the following day at one of the malls around us. So my mom drove me up to the mall so I could talk to her. I said, listen, you don't have to live like that. You don't have to be a prisoner in a place that you're supposed to be feeling home. I said, why don't you move in with me and my family? Yeah. I apologize. But she looked at me and she goes, no, I can't do that. And I walked out. I said, okay, well, if you change your mind, I'll be here. And I went home. About 2 hours later, there was a knock at the front door of the house. I go to answer it, and it was her sister. Her sister goes, we don't know where she is. I said, I don't either. Now, the place that I lived at that specific time, I lived right behind a dirt road. That had a little wooden walk bridge going over a river that led to behind all the schools. And right on the other side of the high school was her house. Well, unbeknownst to everybody, she got home from her interview and she literally just walked out of the house to come and see me. And I look up from talking with her sister, and I see her in hiding behind a bush. I walk out past her sister. Her sister goes, "Orion, she's not supposed to see you." I said, "I know. I'm going to handle it." I walked up to her. I said, "You need to go home. All you're going to do is get yourself in more trouble. Just go home." And I literally thought that at that specific moment in time, that her and I were over with. But trust me, there's a lot more of this story to go. And I'll get back to the story for tomorrow or Monday. Now, this channel used to be a pure gaming channel. I would like to get back into that, but for the time being, because of my mental health, being able to get this out and talk about it is good for me. I will not be editing these videos in any shape, way, or form. So what you see is real emotions, because I would like to turn this channel into a men's mental health awareness channel, men's rights advocate channel. But we'll get into that at a different point in time. In the meantime, thank you all for coming and watching part 2. Hopefully the next day or two I'll get part 3 out. The scene or the background of the next video might be at a pool, because tomorrow is my typical get together with the guys. We play D&D all day, and the place I'll be going to play, they have an indoor swimming pool. And swimming is the only form of activity that I can do physically that's exercise, that's not gonna kill me. We'll get into that more later as well. So I might record the 3rd video tomorrow. Now, whether it's going to be uploaded tomorrow or it's going to be saved until Monday, I haven't decided that. But for right now, that's the plan, is to get it at least recorded for tomorrow. But in the time being, y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. Leave me a comment if you made it this far in the video. Tell me about the first time that you were truly in love with your preferred sex, whether it be guy, girl, because you're gay, you're a lesbian, you're straight, I don't care. But tell me about the first time that you were truly in love with somebody that was not a family member. I'm not asking for details about names. I'm not asking for details how it ended. Just tell me the first time you realized that you were truly in love with somebody outside of your family. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and reply to as many comments as I possibly can. Thank you.